Martin O'Neill has just admitted he got it totally wrong against Dundee, and it nearly cost us big time. Plus, the Scottish Cup draw has dropped a bombshell. Celtic's fixture list just became absolutely brutal, and there's a fascinating financial twist to the upcoming cup tie. It's been a dramatic 24 hours, but first make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. What a dramatic night at Celtic Park on Saturday. The Hoops needed extra time to scrape past Dundee 2-1 in the Scottish Cup, and honestly, it was way too close for comfort. Celtic were seconds away from a shocking cup exit, literally seconds. Dundee had taken the lead through Ethan Hamilton in the 49th minute, and for most of the match, they defended like their lives depended on it. Then, in the 97th minute, with basically the last kick of normal time, new signing Junior Adamu popped up with an equaliser on his debut. The timing was absolutely incredible. The ball came in from Sebastian Tunekti, and Adamu finished with a brilliant back heel to the far post. Dundee were stunned. We were heading to extra time, and just 2 minutes into extra time, Tunekti struck again. He cut in from the left and drove a low shot beyond the Dundee keeper to make it 2-1. That was the winner. Celtic Park had noticeable gaps of empty seats. Some supporter groups had planned a boycott in protest against the board's stewardship of the club, so the atmosphere wasn't what it could have been, which probably didn't help the team. But credit where it's due. When it mattered most, Celtic found a way. 2 substitutes came on and saved the day. Adamu with the equaliser, Tunekti with the winner. Both stepped up when the pressure was at its highest. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't comfortable, but Celtic are through to the quarter-finals, and after what happened next in the draw, that win suddenly feels even more important. Now for the main story, as Celtic have continued to work hard to strengthen their squad in the days following the end of the January transfer window. Martin O'Neill and company welcomed 3 new faces into their group on deadline day, but that's done little to stop them from trying to strengthen their hand for the Scottish Premiership title race. Junior Adamu netted a huge late equaliser for Celtic on his debut on Saturday. The Austrian scored a back heel to send his team's Scottish Cup tie with Dundee to extra time before Sebastian Tunekti eventually won the game. The Glasgow Giants have been desperately trying to match the pace set by Hearts and Rangers in recent weeks, and they've just confirmed a deal that should help them do that. Former Manchester United chief scout Mick Brown recently told Football Insider that Andy Robertson is unlikely to stay in the Premier League when his Liverpool contract expires in the summer. Brown revealed that the left-back is likely to look favourably towards a move beyond England as a free agent in the summer, amid interest from both Celtic and Atletico Madrid. The 31-year-old's time at Anfield is due to draw to a close at the 9-year mark in the summer, when he'll be free to negotiate his next move without the Reds standing in his way. Robertson could potentially opt to return to Scotland with Celtic and follow in the footsteps of his former Liverpool teammate Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who just joined the boys on an initial deal until the end of the season. The midfielder posted a message on his Instagram account after his arrival was announced by Celtic on Saturday. He accompanied his post with the caption, "Delighted to be here, ready to go, and can't wait for the challenge ahead." Messages of support quickly poured in for the 32-year-old, with Robertson one of the biggest names to congratulate his former teammate on the move. The Scotland international commented with 2 green heart emojis underneath Oxlade-Chamberlain's post. Former Everton and Aberdeen chief executive Keith Wyness told Football Insider last week that Liverpool are already working on a replacement for Robertson. The Premier League giants almost sanctioned the defender's sale to Tottenham in the final stages of the window, but ultimately opted against the move as it would leave little cover for Milos Kerkez on the left of the backline. However, the fact that Arne Slot's side have already begun to think about potential alternatives to Robertson is as sure a sign as any that they have little intention of making a last-minute bid to extend his contract. In other news, Celtic have been drawn to face Rangers at Ibrox in the Scottish Cup quarter-finals. The draw was made on Sunday evening following the Stenhousemuir vs Falkirk match, and it delivered a blockbuster tie. Celtic and Rangers have been paired together at the quarter-final stage, with Celtic handed an away trip to Ibrox. That single draw removes any chance of a Hampton meeting between the two this season and sets up a huge knockout tie with serious consequences for both sides. Neither team has had a smooth campaign. This isn't just about progressing to a semi-final, it's about denying your biggest rival a route to silverware and salvaging momentum in a season that's been stop-start for both clubs. Celtic's derby record this season has been mixed. The Hoops beat Rangers at Hampton earlier in the campaign, drew at Ibrox, and then lost at Celtic Park. Interestingly, the only victory came under Martin O'Neill, with both Brendan Rodgers and Wilfried Nancy failing to record a win in the fixtures they oversaw. The Scottish Cup quarter-final is scheduled for the weekend of March 7th, although it's still unclear whether the match will be played on the Saturday or Sunday. That detail will be confirmed in due course. One thing that's interesting to watch is how many tickets Celtic are allowed. The Scottish Cup rulebook allows visiting teams to claim up to 20% of the stadium capacity, which would be well beyond the agreement in place for league games, which is capped at just over 2,000. Could Celtic test the boundaries? The rule does state practical measures, and police input would also come into consideration, which could limit a larger Celtic presence. There's no hiding place, no easier route, and no second chance. Win at Ibrox and a semi-final at Hampden awaits. Lose, and the cup is gone, along with a major opportunity to build belief and momentum. In other news, here's something fascinating about the Ibrox Cup tie. The money from ticket sales doesn't just go to Rangers. Under Scottish Cup regulations, income from ticket sales is not kept solely by the home club. Instead, the money is distributed according to a set formula. First, the SFA take a 5% levy from the gross gate receipts. On top of that, VAR costs are deducted in full and paid directly to the SFA, covering the officials and technology used for the tie. Next, Rangers are entitled to take a 20% share of the remaining income to cover the costs associated with hosting the match at Ibrox Stadium. This includes staffing, policing, stewarding, and operational expenses. Once those deductions have been made, whatever money remains is split equally between the two clubs. That means Celtic will receive roughly 37% of the overall ticket revenue from the match. In simple terms, despite being the away side, Celtic still take home a significant portion of the gate, far more than they would from a standard league fixture. That's one of the key financial differences between Scottish Cup ties and Premiership matches. Another reason why high-profile cup draws carry extra weight both on and off the pitch. So while Rangers get home advantage, Celtic aren't walking away empty-handed financially. It's actually quite a fair split when you break it down. Lastly, the Scottish Cup draw has confirmed what's shaping up to be the most brutal run of fixtures Celtic will face all year. Before thoughts can even turn to the Scottish Cup, Celtic must navigate Europe. They travel for the second leg of their Europa League tie against Stuttgart on Thursday, February 26th. Just 3 days later, on March 1st, they head straight to Ibrox for the derby clash in the league. There's no let-up after that. Wednesday, March 4th sees Celtic play their postponed league fixture away to Aberdeen, a match that could carry significant weight in the title race. Then, on the weekend of March 7th or 8th, Celtic return to action in the Scottish Cup with that trip to Ibrox. In the space of little more than 10 days, Celtic face Stuttgart away, Rangers away, Aberdeen away, and Rangers away again. All away from home, all hostile venues, all matches with the potential to define their season across Europe, the League, and the Cup. That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Hail, hail.